First heat race, Mike Mason from Wilmington, Ohio, in car number 7. Outside of the first row in 02, gentleman from Schwartz Creek, Michigan, Mike Creech in 02. In car number 90, John Volbers from Speedway, Indiana, and outside in 69, Wesley Holm, Wes Holm from Cincinnati. The third row, Rick Burdine from Indianapolis in car 48, and 25 from Lebanon, Indiana, the 7-time USAC Midget champion, Mel Kenyon. Finally, in car number 67, it's Scott Kropfeld. And if the name Kropfeld sounds familiar, it's because his father, Jim Kropfeld, is the driver of one of the unlimited hydroplanes that race the boats on the Thunder on the Ohio and in the Detroit area and some of the other races for the boats. 8 racing laps for the All-American Midgets. Here later is Mike Mason from Wilmington, Ohio. Mason, the farmer from Wilmington that races the midget cars. Second in number 90 is John Volbers. Volbers out of Speedway, Indiana. Tight race for that second and third position. Now up to fourth is Mel Kenyon. Kenyon started 6th, working his way towards the front in the black number 25. And now Kenyon continues his move toward the front. They'll be halfway in this 8-lap event this time by. It's still Mike Mason, John Volbers, Mel Kenyon. Mike Creech is running 4th. Kenyon now pressuring Volbers. He'll move alongside, entering turn 3. Volbers sideways, but Kenyon moves through. Now Kenyon sets his sights on the Volkswagen-powered Mike Mason. Kenyon in the Pontiac-powered car. Six laps complete. 1.5 laps to go. White flag this time by as Kenyon draws in on Mason. Closing in a hurry. It's Mason from Wilmington. Kenyon from Lebanon, Indiana. Right on the back bumper through turns 1 and 2. Kenyon will look to the low groove down the backstretch. That Pontiac power inside of Mason. Last lap pass. Mason will try to switch over, but it'll be Mel Kenyon, your winner. Second is Mike Mason. Third, Wesley Holm. And finishing 4th, John Volbers and Scott Kropfeld with a spin in turn number 1 after the checkered flag. So an exciting feature finish, or make that heat finish in heat number 1. Mel Kenyon, all the way from 6th starting position, takes the lead on the final circuit. All-American Midgets. Starting on the pole in car number 3, Bill Luce. Bill Luce in 3, and alongside in number 6, Sam Eisenhower. Get them all lined up here momentarily. On the inside of the second row, in car number 44, will be Rob Parrish, and outside in car number 3, Tim Allen. I guess I should have let you know the hometowns of these drivers. I'll start over. Again, Bill Luce, the 1990 track champion, starts on, or 1990 All-American Midget Series champion from last year. Luce is from Monticello, Indiana. Outside from Lebanon, Indiana is Sam Eisenhower. The second row from Whitestown, Indiana, Rob Parrish. And outside in number 3 from London, Ohio, Tim Allen. The third row on the inside is car 52. That car driven by, I'll get it here in a minute. Oh, that's right, Tony Bono. And alongside your fast qualifier is Mac McClellan in 5C, McClellan from Dayton, Ohio, the current point leader in this division. And starting last in 11, Rich Bickle from Columbus. So the yellow 11, Rich Bickle, a non-qualifier, he'll start last. 8 laps to go. Bill Luce, the leader, through turns 1 and 2. Rob Parrish is second. Parrish, a graduate of quarter midget racing, as is Mac McClellan. Parrish looks for a hole. He'll try to move inside of Luce down the backstretch, but no cigar as Tim Allen challenges him on the outside. Tim Allen in 3. Allen now switches from the outside to the inside and dogs Bill Luce down the backstretch. Luce and Allen both driving Volkswagen-powered cars. Luce holds on to that bottom groove. Halfway the next time around. Still a good race. Oh, and now Tim Allen slips underneath Bill Luce for the lead. Following him through is Rob Parrish. Now Mac McClellan in 5C comes up to join the fray for the lead. Tim Allen pulls out to a bit of a lead. Allen from London, Ohio. McClellan almost underneath Luce, but Luce slams the door in turn 3.
White flag next time, Bill.
Parrish is second. Luce third. McClellan fourth. White flag this time for Tim Allen. Now Parrish begins to close in on Allen. A car link separates him down the backstretch. Parrish will go to the outside, or will he? He'll duck underneath Tim Allen off fourth turn, but Tim Allen will win. Second is Rob Parrish. Finishing third in 5C, Mac McClellan. And fourth, Bill Luce. The All-American Midget Series heat race action. Race action coming up in the limited sportsman division following this trophy dash. Keep in mind, coming up September 7th, write it down. If you know anybody that used to come down all the time, we're going to be holding the Legends of Columbus Motor Speedway race. Some of the drivers already that I've been talking to, Dick Dunleavy Sr., Jack Bowser, so also Don Gregory. So there'll be some old-time racers racing here at the Speedway September 7th, so keep that in mind. 4 laps to go. Your leader is Bob Justice in 29, second Dick Kelly. Justice again has had that 29 car running very well of late. He's been experiencing overheating problems, so if he can get those problems sorted out, he'll be a contender for tonight's limited sportsman feature. Up to second now is Mike Rush from Powell, Ohio, whose father Mark is celebrating a birthday today. Bob Justice, Mike Rush is second, Dick Kelly third, now Jim Cruz fourth. White flag this time for Justice. Rush now begins to reel in Bob Justice, but with a half a lap left, it doesn't look like he'll have enough time. And the winner in car 29 is Bob Justice. Second goes to Mike Rush. Third is Jim Cruz. Finishing fourth, Dick Kelly. check, I believe. Well, he won the dash last week too, Bob Justice did, a week ago. So his second Trophy Dash win in a row. Car number 29, Bob Justice.
Did you page for a message for...
'27, it's Terry Humphrey Jr., and outside of him in '73, Randy Sward. 8 cars, 8 laps, your first limited sportsman heat race. Into Ron Holbein. They'll go down the backstretch. Now Holbein into the outside retaining wall. The wheel comes off. Ron Holbein in 3. Holbein's father raced this car earlier this year and had contact with the wall. Now Ron time around with the lineup reshuffled. Grubauer and Kimball on the front row. Then come Bigham and Parker, Tony Signs and Terry Humphrey Jr. And lagging back a bit, apparently unhappy with his qualifying run, I'm assuming, is car 73 Randy Sward. So he apparently is lagging back and to try to have us get a different or a better qualifying time on him so that he won't be in jeopardy of breaking out later on this evening. 8 racing laps. Walter Kimball out to the early lead. Craig Parker is second. Now Parker will try the inside of Kimball in turns 3 and 4. And Craig Parker will lead lap number 1. 1 lap down of this 8-lap event. Next to challenge Kimball will be Willie Bigham from Lancaster, and he takes over second. Bigham is second in car 48. Craig Parker, your leader. Tony Signs steps up next. He'll move into third in car number 6. It's Parker, Bigham, Signs, and Kimball, your top 4 runners in this, the first limited sportsman heat race. 4 laps, halfway this time by. Sward in 73 works on the outside of Walter Kimball. Your top 3 unchanged, but Sward moves up to 4th. The top 4 just about equidistant from each other. A white flag, 1 lap to go. Craig Parker, your leader, through turns 3 and 4. Your winner in car 72, Craig Parker. Second is Willie Bigham. Third is Tony Signs. And finishing 4th, Randy Sward. So his first heat race win of the 1991 racing season for Craig Parker. Again, the limited sportsman cars, basically stock frame vehicles that run a Hoosier street type tire, a Department of Transportation legal tire. They all have to run the same tire. In car number 12, it's Don Renner, and alongside of Renner in 7, Mike Cyrus. The second row consists of Kenny Sward in 74, back in his familiar number 74, and outside of Sward in 53, Russ Bob. The third row, car 41, make that car 40. His first appearance, at least of the year, I think ever here at the Speedway. It's Rick Lewis in 40, and outside in 22, Tom Randolph. And finally on the tail in 25, Jim Kidd. They got the white flag the last time by. And now they're getting ready, or getting going. Green flag, 8 racing laps. The leader from the pole is car number 12, Don Renner. Second in 74 is Ken Sward. But now Mike Cyrus battles back on the outside. Sward switches to the outside groove to try Renner, but to no avail, as Renner puts about a half a car length between himself and Ken Sward. Tom Randolph now moves up to third. They'll complete lap number 3 this time. Still Don Renner, Ken Sward, now Tom Randolph. Randolph up from 6th spot to 3rd and challenging. Randolph, of course, the driver who raced in the late model ranks last year, had a feature win here at the Speedway, as a matter of fact. And the lead battle heats up between Renner and Sward. This time 6 laps of this 8-lap heat race. White flag, this time for Don Renner. Sward right on his tail down the backstretch. He'll again try the outside, but your winner will be Don Renner. Second is Ken Sward, third Tom Randolph, and fourth Russ Bob in 53. Class on the pole in car number 2 from Columbus, it's Don Gregory Jr. and alongside in 33 Carl Stapleton. The second row consists of track record holder Don Hill Jr. and alongside of him in 17 Sam Heckman. In the third row, car 02 Charlie Osborne out of Blacklick, and alongside from Grove City Robin Pendleton. And finally, starting out back in car number 20, Mike Brown. 7 cars, 8 racing laps for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Limited Sportsman Division. tight battle. Now Carl Stapleton pulls ahead of Don Gregory Jr. 3 laps completed this time. Now Sam Ekman moves up to that second spot. They'll get the halfway cross flags this time. Heckman is second. Now Robin Pendleton is next to move around Gregory. Pendleton is up to third. Heckman sideways in turn 1. A wild incident down there. Everybody keeps going. No spins. Carl Stapleton still the leader. Second now is Robin Pendleton. White flag this time. Don Hill Jr. is third. Heckman calls it a race at car 17. The winner from St. Paris, Ohio, Carl Stapleton. Pendleton will come home second. Third is Don Hill Jr. Fourth, Don Gregory.
Bobby got a long way to go, too. Short time to get there. That's 4 laps.
Racing laps. Bussy Blackford leads the pack through turn number 1. Now Dean challenges down the backstretch. Robbie, the master of the second groove here at Columbus. Edwards is third. Vallow fourth. Bussy Blackford still the leader. They'll get the halfway signal this time. Cross flags. Dean stalks the leader down the backstretch. Bobby Edwards is close in third. White flag for Blackford. Very evenly matched. Now Edwards spins on the backstretch. And we'll get a yellow flag. Bobby Edwards cooking it a little too hot through turn number 2. Gets that car number 7 around backwards. In competition here next Saturday night, in addition to the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late models, limited sportsman, and street stocks. So the ARCA Pro 4s in action here next Saturday night. Next week's racing action sponsored by Advanced Air Heating and Air Conditioning and Burco Trucking. 1 lap to go for Bussy Blackford, your leader, and the rest of the crew. Dean again tries that outside groove, but Blackford pulls that car length lead down the backstretch. Here comes the Big Bird in a hurry, but the winner, Bussy Blackford. Again, second in 94, Robbie Dean. Third in car number 21, John Vallow, and finishing fourth, Bobby Edwards. messages. Car 17 is Jim Cox, rookie driver, who made his first appearance last week at the Speedway. And outside in car number 0 from Columbus, the engineer by trade, it's Dave Dorshuk in the Chrysler-powered number 0. So if anybody here from the Mopar Nationals out at National Trail this weekend, you got a Mopar out there to root for. 10 racing laps for the heat race. Denny Dean, the leader in car number 12. Now second is Steve Peck, but here comes Gary Estes to challenge in number 2. So we'll get a start the next time around. Your leader is Denny Dean, 1 lap in the record books. Second, Steve Peck. Third is Gary Estes, and fourth, Scott Drake. Jim Cox is 5th, and Larry Harris now 6th. 1 lap down, 9 remain for this heat race. And that'll be a false start as Gary Estes moved outside of Steve Peck before the green flag was displayed. When anybody jumps a position, takes advantage of a car in front of them, that car goes to the tail of the event, which is where Gary Estes is headed. Cars must remain in single file order until the green flag is displayed. So Estes to the tail in car number 2. And we'll get the cars lined up and ready to go racing the next time around. Off to a slow start in this, the first late model heat race. Again, the restart. This time around, Denny Dean leads them around. Steve Peck second, Scott Drake third. Peck tries the high groove, down in 3 and 4. Steve Peck on the outside in 14. The leader in 14. Drake is second. Now Jim Cox in a good run up to third. Cox is third. Scott Drake looks high and low for a way around Steve Peck halfway. Tries to move inside on the backstretch. Peck moves up and gives him room. And Scott Drake from Xenia, the new leader. 7 laps complete this time by. Drake pulls fills out a 2-car length advantage over Steve Peck. Jim Cox is third. White flag this time around. White flag for Scott Drake. And with his second heat race win of 1991 here at the Speedway, Scott Drake. Second goes to Steve Peck. Third, Jim Cox. And fourth, Gary Estes. In car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr. And finally, on the fourth and final row, car 86, Skip Thornton, and car number 9, Danny Eves. 10 laps. Shadowing crew have been wrenching on that water cutter number 10, and that Ford Probe is running tonight. He's on the outside of Cantley for the lead. Greg Markham is third, Joe Hill fourth. Still water cutter doesn't say die. He's on the outside of Cantley again. Halfway, cross flags this time around. A tight race. Is out in 52, Ron Otto. It's Cantley, water cutter, Markham and Eves down the backstretch. Now Eves starts to reel in the lead trio. For the lead. Now Eves is up. Eves moves up to join what is now a foursome for the lead. The white flag will be displayed this time by. Now a four-car race. Looks like a trophy dash start. White flag. Water cutter slips off of turn 2. And your winner will be Bill Cantley. Again, Bill Cantley, the winner. Moving up to grab second place was car 23, Greg Markham, by about a foot or so. Third was Wayne Watercutter. And fourth, Danny Eves. Let's hear it for all these late model second heat race drivers. Starting on the front row in car 44, Joe DeFelice, and alongside in 22, Donald Parsons III. The second row in car 66, second fast time for Paul Baker Jr. And outside of row number 2 with a new track record tonight, your fast qualifier, Danny Brown. 4 cars, 4 laps. Joe DeFelice, the leader, in 44. Second now is Paul Baker Jr. Halfway this time. DeFelice has never picked up a Trophy Dash win here at Columbus. Probably shouldn't say that. I might jinx him or something. He'll get the white flag this time. 1 lap to go. Now Dan Brown moves up to challenge in 2. It's DeFelice, Brown, Baker, and Parsons, the third, down the backstretch. Now Danny Brown will make a race out of it through 4. It'll be close at the stripe. By about 2 foot, Joe DeFelice. Second is Danny Brown from 4th starting place. Finishing 3rd, Paul Baker Jr. And 4th goes to Donald Parsons, the third. So rookie driver Joe DeFelice, car 25, Dale Andrews, car 33 Jim McCulley, and the final car, I know who that is, I'll tell you as soon as I figure it out. That's right, Joe Pettinger is in 37, Joe Pettinger. So let's see, 1 lap is complete. Herb Pennington and Eric Nachman going at it for the lead. They'll complete 2 laps of this 8-lap race this time by. Now 2 laps down. Eric Nachman, the new leader. Herb Pennington is second. Now Jim McCulley and Brian New pull up on the back bumper of Herb Pennington. McCulley and New make it 3 abreast through 1 and 2. But McCulley, the only one that comes through there. And McCulley is second. Halfway this time. 4 laps now complete. McCulley sets his sights on leader Eric Nachman. Herb Pennington is third. Brian New fourth.
What's that?
And Jim McCulley, with an inside pass, takes over the lead. Eric Nachman now relegated to second. A good race between Herb Pennington and Brian New for third spot. Now Mike Taylor, almost up into Clyde Trowbridge on the backstretch, but they come out of it okay. White flag this time for Jim McCulley. Good race for third place still between Pennington and New. Your winner, Jim McCulley, his second heat race win of 1991. Second goes to Eric Nachman. Third, Brian New. And finishing fourth, Herb Pennington. So again, the second heat race win of 1991 for McCulley. Starts on the inside of row number 1. Along him in 43 is Mike Schweier. The second row is Tom Idle in 35 and Buddy Townsend in 04. Row number 3, car 4 is Phil Gussler, and car 24, Mike Hamilton. Then comes car number 27, Dave Dysinger. And outside in 12, Don Parsons. Then comes Bill Wellman in 6. And outside of him, Butch McAllister in 3. And finally, your feature winner from a week ago, Gary Carter in 26. Coming up at intermission, the Columbus Motor Speedway lucky numbers. So hang on to your program, and I'll be calling those off after this event. Eight laps for the street stocks in this, the second street stock heat race. Steve Snap in 15. Running second now in 35 is Tom Idle. On the move from the back of the pack in 12 is Don Parsons. He's up to about 6th spot now. Buddy Townsend is third. Idle begins to close it up a little bit over Steve Snap. Tom Idle in 35, the new leader. Steve Snap drops off the pace. Mike Hamilton up to challenge. Now Snap is out in turn number 1. Tom Idle the leader. Mike Hamilton now second. White flag for Tom Idle. Idle, a rookie in the street stock competition this year, about to checkered his first heat race ever. The winner, Tom Idle in 35. Second goes to Mike Hamilton. Third is Buddy Townsend. And I'll have to wait for 4th and 5th, as that was a very close race. But now it appears as though he has it figured out.
Again, these are direct drive, no transmission in these cars. Only an in and out mechanism in the rear end. Okay, we're just about ready for a start. 25 racing laps. The leader is Sam Eisenhower. Second now is Rob Parrish. In third, Mike, make that bill loose. Fourth is Tim Allen. John Bolber's in 90, calls it a night. Your leader is Sam Eisenhower. Second, Rob Parrish. Now 6 laps down, and Parrish tries the inside of Eisenhower. On the backstretch, Eisenhower your leader. Third is Bill Luce. They work around the lap car of Tony Bono. Now McClellan up to third. McClellan is third. Parrish with contact on Eisenhower. Laps down. The race for the lead. McClellan begins to reel in the leaders. McClellan closing in the yellow 5. Laps to go, 10 laps. The lead trio down the front stretch right now. Parrish now underneath Eisenhower. Your new leader is Rob Parrish. Tries to move around Eisenhower. McClellan is second in 5. It's Rob Parrish, Mac McClellan, Sam Eisenhower, Bill Luce, and Tim Allen. Five laps to go, 5 laps. Still a good race for the lead. Rob Parrish and Mac McClellan. Now 3 laps to go. McClellan to the inside. Rob Parrish still the leader. White flag this time. Rob Parrish in 44. Now McClellan challenging. McClellan on the back bumper of Rob Parrish. He'll go to the outside. It'll be a close one. Rob Parrish. Close race. Let's hear it for all the All-American Midgets. So with his first ever All-American Midget Series feature win, Rob Parrish. A great race. He had a really bad push there at the end and had to haul it in pretty hard to keep the front end under him. Let's hear it again. Rob Parrish, your winner. A great race. To save my voice. The front row is Jim Kidd and Don Gregory Jr. Second row, Carl Stapleton and Don Hill. The third row, Sam Heckman and Charlie Osborne. The fourth row, Robin Pendleton, Dick Kelly. Then comes Bob Justice, Mike Brown. In 9, it's Jim Cruz, and your fast qualifier tonight. And in 22, Tom Randolph. Then comes Rick Lewis in 40. 53, Russ Bob. 74 is Ken Sward. In 7 is Mike Cyrus. Car number 12, Don Renner. In number 6, it's Tony Sines. 72 is Craig Parker. 48's Willie Bigham. 73 is Randy Sward. And 27, a driver change in 27, it's Mike Rush. So again, point leader Mike Rush unable to start his car number 98 for the second week in a row. He'll drive car 27 and start on the tail. 30 racing laps for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Limited Sportsman Division. Get a start the next time around. Stapleton on the front row. Jim Kidd, the leader. Here comes Carl Stapleton. Stapleton, Hackman, your top two, 10 laps.
Stapleton with a spin.
Complete, 13 laps to go. white flag. The winner, Robin Pennington. The winner, Robin Pennington. Robin's third feature win of 1991. The car is sponsored by Sunbury Auto Parts, Countryside Electric, The Phone Works, Dublin Motor Car, The Priest Masonry, Butch Bando Concrete, and J.R. Sunoco.
Okay, here's your lineup, your 35-lap late model feature. Joe Hill and Greg Markham will bring them around for the green flag next time around. Ron Otto Jr., Dick Dunleavy Jr. make up the second row. And it looks like Skip Thornton. And it's Greg Markham as your early leader as they go down the back chute. Joe Hill trying to make a move on the inside. Markham now takes over the lead in car number 23. Markham still your leader with 3 laps in. Dick Dunleavy Jr. now trying to take over the number 2 spot from Joe Hill. Ron Otto Jr. running 4th. Still Dunleavy trying to make a move on the outside now as they go down the back chute. Still Markham holding off a very determined Dunleavy Jr., followed by Joe Hill, Ron Otto Jr., Skip Thornton, Danny Eves. Dunleavy now slips inside of Markham. There could be a change for the lead as they go down the back chute. 5 laps in. 5 laps down, and Dunleavy now your leader in car number 5. Ron Otto Jr. trying to take over the number 3 spot from Joe Hill. Dunleavy Jr. takes off to a small lead now with Markham still running second. And we got a crash in turn number 3. Looks like Larry Harris and Wayne Watercutter up against the wall up here in turn number 3. And we'll be looking at the green next time around. Assistant flagman Denny Jordan holding out the white. Flagman Jim Paul getting them all in single file. Stick Dunleavy Jr. and Ron Otto Jr., followed by Joe Hill, Danny Eves, Skip Thornton, Robbie Dean, Bussy Blackford, John Vallow, and Bobby Edwards. As they come around, they'll be looking for the green flag, and we're back underway. Otto looking for racing room on the outside. Here comes Danny Eves. Otto Jr. trying to high side around Dick Dunleavy Jr. Hey, it was still Dunleavy Jr. by a bumper, but here comes Otto on the outside. Looks like Skip Thornton dropping off the pace in the 86 car. Danny Eves now moves up into third position. Otto Jr. now holding a narrow lead on Dunleavy Jr. as they come down the front chute. And they're dead even as they go into turn 3. Dunleavy again picks up a small advantage as Otto falls back a car length. Comes Robbie Dean on the outside, taking over the 4 spot from Joe Hill, followed by John Vallow. Dean now trying to take over that upper 4 position. Looks like he's got it. Here comes Vallow also. And it's still Dunleavy Jr., your leader. Laps completed, 20 to go. And here comes Eves on the outside of Otto trying to take over the number 2 position. Eves once again going to try the outside. And they'll be halfway this time around. Halfway signal being given to Dick Dunleavy Jr., your current leader. Dunleavy now jumped out to a 4-5 car length lead over Danny Eves with Ron Otto Jr. running third, Vallow fifth. Looks like the high line may be a little faster as Eves is moving up on Dunleavy Jr. Vallow trying to make a move on the outside of Dean for the 4 spot. Laps to go, 15 to go. Vallow trying to make a move on the high side for the 3 spot. Here comes Eves trying to make a move for the lead. It's Eves on the outside of Dunleavy Jr. as they come down the front chute. Vallow now running third. Robbie Dean looks to take over the number 4 position from Ron Otto Jr. It's still Dunleavy Jr., your leader, but Danny Eves is knocking on the door right there on the outside as they go into turn 3. Cars running through some traffic now, and Eves has to back off. Dunleavy now got a couple of car length lead over Eves, and here comes Vallow, followed by Dean, Ron Otto Jr., Joe Hill, and Bussy Blackford. 9 to go, 9 laps to go. Still, Dunleavy Jr., your leader. Here comes Eves again on the outside. And we've got a yellow flag. Looks like we got some debris on turn number 3 there. 29 laps completed. Your leader. One more time around before we look at the green flag. And he'll be picking up the gas now as they head into turn number 3. Dunleavy Jr. now on the throttle to bring them around. And the green flag is out. And Dunleavy Jr. breaks out to a lead, but here comes Vallow on the outside. Vallow trying to take the number 2 spot away from Eves, and looks like he's got it, but he slips back. Robbie Dean running 4th and looking for racing room. Vallow on the outside now. 5 laps to go. Vallow now running 2nd, trying to gain ground on Dunleavy Jr. in the 5 car. And here comes Robbie Dean up to challenge Danny Eves for the number 3 spot. And still Dunleavy Jr., your leader. Vallow going to try the high side once again. And they're dead even as they go into turn 3. And they're dead even down the back chute. White flag this time around. One more time around. Who will it be? Dick Dunleavy Jr. or John Vallow? Vallow jumps out to a car length lead as Dean takes over the 3rd spot from Danny Eves. And here comes the finish. And your winner, car number 21, John Vallow. Looks like he picked her up by about 6 inches over a very determined Dick Dunleavy Jr. And with the 2 wins last week, that makes 3 in a row for Vallow here at Columbus Motor Speedway. There's your winner, John Vallow, car number 21. Car sponsored by WW Automotive, Burco Trucking, and Howe Racing. Okay, they'll be looking at the green this time around. Eric Knockman and Clyde Trowbridge going to bring them around for the green. Hang on to your seats. Here they go. And the green flag is out. And it's Knockman, your leader, with Trowbridge running second. McCauley running third. And it's Knockman, your leader of lap number 1. McCauley trying the outside to get around Clyde Trowbridge. Mike Schweier in the 43 car running 4. Steve Stamp running 5th. Buddy Townsend on the outside now trying to make a move. And McCauley trying to find a way around Knockman as they go down the back chute. Steve Snap spins off into the infield in turn number 2. McCauley still your leader. Schweier now running third, 3 abreast as they go into the corner. Carter making a move on the inside to put them 3 deep. Mow the grass. McCauley now enjoying a pretty good lead as they go down the back chute. Knockman running second. But here comes Carter. Schweier dropping off the pace in the 43 car. Carter now running second, trying to gain on McCauley as they go down the back chute. Still anybody's race as Carter trying to make a move on the high side now. Dave Dysinger now takes over the number 3 position. Carter now trying to make a move on the outside for the lead as they go down the back chute. McCauley determined to hold him off on the low side. Dysinger now running third, followed by Buddy Townsend. Carter now edges out in front as they go down the back chute and takes over the lead in the car number 26. Gary Carter now your leader. Started in the 14th position, worked his way through traffic. 10 laps in, 10 laps completed. Carter now jumping out to a nice lead. McCauley still running second with Dysinger third. Here comes Danny Brown trying to make a move on the outside of Townsend. It's still Carter, your leader. Halfway this time around. Halfway. And Jim McCauley still running second. Danny Brown trying to take over the number 3 spot from Dave Dysinger. Buddy Townsend hanging in there for 4th. Paul Becker Jr. 5th. They'll be 3 wide as they go down the back chute. like Clyde Trowbridge calls it a night and pulls to the infield. And we got some debris on the racetrack. Looks like we got a fender laying up there in turn number. And the green flag gets back out and we're underway. Carter now jumps out to a big lead. Jim McCauley still second. Dysinger third. Buddy Townsend fourth. Parsons and Baker battling for the fifth position. Getting a little congested out there. And they're going to be 3 wide as they go through the corner. Carter now out to a big lead. McCauley running second, being challenged by Dave Dysinger. Buddy Townsend running fourth, but here comes Paul Baker Jr. Baker trying to find running room on the outside of Townsend. Mike Taylor loops it coming off of turn number 4 and finds reverse in a hurry. Wants no part of that racetrack. 5 to go. 5 to go. And they're going to try and gang up on McCauley this time as they're 3 wide. And they go down the back chute. Dysinger going to make a move on the outside of McCauley. Can't quite pull it off, but here comes Danny Brown on the inside. And Brown takes over the number 2 position, and they're 3 wide again. Paul Baker Jr. now running fourth. McCauley drops back to fifth. Looks like Buddy Townsend's parked her on the back chute. Carter still your leader with Danny Brown now running second. Paul Baker Jr. third. Joe DeFelice fourth. And looks like Jim McCauley is holding on to that fifth spot. And you thought the bump and run was a football play. White flag this time around for Carter in the 26 car. One more time around. Danny Brown looks like he's going to be locked into that second position this week as Carter picks up the win. And they're 3 wide again as they go through the corner. McCauley going to slip back a spot here maybe. The winner of your 25-lap street stock feature, Gary Carter in the 26 car. We thank you all for attending. Hope you come back next week. Bring a friend or neighbor with you. And your feature winner, Gary Carter. Have a safe trip home. Leave the speed to the Speedway.
I want to thank Earl Isaacs for filling in towards the end of the evening for me.
Running cars. It's almost more fun listening to you.
Special thanks to Goodale Transmission and Mako Auto Painting and Collision Centers. By the way, the street stock feature winner gets an extra $100 from Mako Auto Refinishing. Second and third place each get $50 additional here tonight for the street stock top 3.